At the beginning of the movie, a ginger cat calls himself Puss in Boots. It turns out that Puss in Boots is a cat that people want. During the beginning scene, he gets out of a cage where he had been locked up before he ran away. He took the man who had caught him and his boots out of his pocket. As the two of them fought with swords, his squeaking noises woke the man up. Plus, Boots was able to get away. The angry man thinks of himself as a bad cat who is on the run. He goes to his hometown, San Ricardo, to try to clear his name and regain his respect. When he went into a bar where the locals hang out to drink during the Festival of Fire, they all laughed at him because they thought he was just a normal cat. Dog and Pony Show asks Furla when he walks up to the bartender. The bartender made fun of him for being a disappointed Puss in Boots among real men, then make his wanted ad stand out. He tells them he didn't come to cause trouble and that all he wants is a simple score to take his mind off things. When the locals found out he was Puss in Boots, they tried to kill him, but he is smart enough to avoid them. He tells them that he doesn't want to get mad and that all he wants is to get a point. The people in the village tell him he should rob the church or shelter, but as a cat of honor, he says no. Then, one of the people in the town tells him about the couple of deadly criminals, Jack and Jill, and that they have the magic beans that he had been looking for a long time. Even though Puss in Boots don't believe what they're hearing, they put his mind at ease by saying they've seen the beans. They also told him that stories say the beans grow in a huge mine that leads to a castle where the golden goose lives with her valuable golden eggs. They say that the golden eggs will make him rich for life, but that only a cat who wants to die can steal them from Jack and Jill. The next scene is with Jackin. It shows that the couple are very dangerous criminals. Everyone in the town was afraid of them because their looks looked like they would kill. One time, they got to a hotel where they were going to stay for the night. Jack tells Jill that when their business with the magic beans is over and they have all the golden eggs, he will stop kidnapping and killing people and just live with the baby that Jill gave him. But Jill didn't want to talk about it because she plans to keep living her life the way it is. Just as they were talking, Puss in Boots walked up to there. He is surprised to see that the magic beans do when he looks through the window. Just as he is about to steal the beans, he sees another cat trying to steal the magic beans by pretending to be a dog. He gets angry because the strange cat is about to stop him from doing his job. He tries to talk the cat out of stealing the magic beans, but the invader is set on it. He also gets more upset when the cat looks like it might bite him. Just as they were about to fight, Jack and Jill see the cats and attack them. The cat attacker runs away, and the angry Puss in Boots goes after the cat because the cat ruined his goal. After chasing the cat for a long time, he follows it through a tunnel and finds a group of wild cats. After a long fall, he gets back up and is ready to fight the cat, but someone suggests that they have a dance-off instead. He dances with the invader in a beautiful dance fight where he shows off all of his amazing dance moves and skills. After the lively dance battle, they got into a sword fight. Puss in Boots hit his opponent with a guitar, and she took off her mask to show who she was. Puss in Boots is shocked and runs over to apologize to her. He tells her that he is a lover, not a fighter, and that everything was just a mistake. When he goes into a room to look for her, he meets Humpty Alexander Dumpty, a talking egg. Puss in Boots is angry with his long-lost childhood friend Humpty because he thinks Humpty lied to him. Humpty tries to cool him down, but he gets even more angry when he learns that Humpty sent Kitty Softpaws to stop his task when he was almost done and almost had the magic beans. Humpty tells him that he sent Kitty Softpaws to him so that the two of them can work together to complete the task. He says that Kitty Softpaws is a very smart cat who is also very skilled. Together, they can find the golden goose. He says that he has thought about the whole task and that he wouldn't know where to put the beans without his help. He also offers to work with Puss, but Puss in Boots turns down the offer. He tries to persuade Puss that he needs him to finish the task, but Puss has already made up his mind. Cough waited a moment, and then he offered to help Puss talk. She then plays some clever tricks on him to get his attention away from him. She tells him that they can take over the famous house and steal a lot of golden eggs if they work together. She goes on to say that Puss owes her because he hit her with a. Even though Puss feels bad about what he did, he doesn't want to work with Humpty. Paws then asked Humpty what had happened between them. Then, Puss tells Kitty how he met Humpty and how he was hurt by him. He starts by saying that a strong wind blew him to a home for children. The person who ran the shelter and was known as Amelia took him in and even treated him like her own son. She taught the other kids how to do plus. It was when he met Humpty Alexander Dumpty. The rest of the group was always mean to Humpty, plus stuck up for him, and since then, they have agreed to always look out for each other. Humpty had a lot of ideas and projects in his head. He always talked about myths and exciting stories. When they were late on the field and looking at the sky, Humpty told them about the golden goose and how one of her golden eggs could make him rich for life. When Puss saw that Puss was interested in his tales, he decided to get Puss to join the Bean Club, where they would look for the magic beans together. They made a promise by signing a contract. and ever since then, they have been looking for the magic beans but have never been able to find them. As time went on, the search for the magic beans started to seem like a child's fantasy. When they were adults, they started to look for trouble, but sometimes they get caught. Mama Amelia had told them not to cause trouble, and that Puss shouldn't let her down even once while they are yelling on the roof. Humpty says that he and Puss are going to leave the place. Because he is angry, he throws a stone at a carriage, making a bowl fall out. An old woman was almost killed by the bull. The cat can get there fast enough to help her. The town has a party. Humpty watched from afar as he was brave. Mama Amelia then gives him a pair of boots, and he promises to make her happy. Humpty got into more trouble as his road got better, and he was even sent to. When Puss got Humpty out of jail, he made him promise that he would never steal from people again. But Humpty was stubborn and one day warned him that he had gotten into trouble. Puss, who didn't know how important what Humpty did was, chooses to help him. Then it comes out that Humpty stole from the bank in San Ricardo. He made it look like Puss had something to do with the theft. People in the town were embarrassed by Puss, who they thought was a respectable cat. Puss is upset and angry because his best friend just played a trick on him. During their escape, there was an accident with their carriage, and they all fell off. Humpty, who couldn't lift himself, then asked Puss to save him, but Puss refused and left Humpty to the angry guards. The sad kitten then leaves town with a heavy heart, having lost all of his pride and honor. As he comes to the end of the story, he sees that Kitty wasn't listening. Humpty approaches him. He tells Puss he was wrong and that he is sorry for everything that has happened between them in the past. He goes on to say that if Puss gives him a second chance, he will do anything to show how valuable their friendship is. He also tells him that he will help him in any way he can to get his pride and respect back. In the end, he agrees to help him. He tells Humpty that he is only doing it for his mom in San Ricardo. In the next scene, the three of them go to Jack's house to steal the beans. As soon as they were in the cart, they went to get the magic beans. But in doing so, they woke up Jack and Jill's pigs, which they then cared for as if they were babies. The deadly couple is drawn to the noise. Puss and Kitty tie up Jack and Jill, but Jack and Jill get away with the magic beans. The evil couple charges the crew, but thanks to Humpty's ideas, the crew is able to flee. After they stole the magic beans, they went to the desert, where they could plant the seeds without getting caught. Puss says that Humpty Craft has soft paws like a cat. Tell him where she's from, and how the people who owned her took away her claw. The three people get to the place where they need to put the magic beans. Then Humpty gives Puss the pleasure of being the one to plant the seeds. After the magic seeds were planted, there was a strong storm. The money went right into the seeds. After the strange thing that happened, the plant didn't have a good effect. Humpty then goes over to the plant to see what's going on. Then, a huge plant starts to grow quickly and pulls the three of them straight up above the clouds. As they got closer to the clouds, their sounds changed because of the low air pressure. Now that they're there, they're all playing happily around the thick clouds. Then, Kitty Soft Paws showed the team the huge castle, and everyone was shocked to see that the story was true. Humpty then gets dressed and pretends to be a golden egg to fit in. When the three got to the big house, they went in quietly so no one would see them. Then, Humpty tells them about the big scary thing that protects the golden goose and her ex-boyfriend. He goes on to say that anyone who looks at the great fear turns into stone right away. When they got stuck, they used champagne to get to the other side. After Humpty got there safely, they saw the golden goose's gosling and decided to steal it because it laid tiny eggs. On their way home, the group is attacked by the Great Terror, which puts Cat Soft Paws in. She starts to drown, but Post is able to save her. After avoiding the great fear, they got out of the castle and used a bean leaf as a parachute to get down. When they reached the ground, they cut down their beanstalk. Jack and Jill, who had been following the crew, found out where they were when they got off the boat. While this was going on, the team was dancing around to celebrate their win. Kitty Soft Paw thanks to Puss for saving her life back at the castle. As Puss and Kitty dance together, their friendship turns romantic. When Humpty sees this, he tries to stop Kitty from developing feelings for Puss. Humpty's action shows that he has other plans for Puss, which turn out to be a guilt trip. Then, Kitty decides to take a break, so she leaves Humpty and Puss dancing. After having fun that night, everyone went to bed. Just as Puss is going to sleep, Jack and Jill sneak up on the group and knock him out. When he wakes up the next day, he finds himself surrounded by birds. As he drove them away, he realized that Jack and Jill had set up the trap. Puss thinks that the evil outlaws also took Humpty and Kitty, so he goes on to. He gets on a horse and follows Jack and Jill's wagon back to San Ricardo. As soon as he got there, he sneaked into the village because he was still on the run and wanted. He found Jack and Jill with Humpty, but he was shocked to see that they were having a party to celebrate something. He finds out that Humpty was the one who planned the whole thing. Not only that, but so were Jack, Jill, and even Soft Paws. Humpty keeps telling Puss that he had everything worked out while he was in jail. He says that the whole journey was all about getting payback. Then, the angry cat is mad that Humpty had set him up. He asks Humpty why he had to betray him a second time. Humpty says he only did it to get back at Puss for leaving him when he needed him. He tells Puss that he hasn't forgotten how he left him on the bridge with the town troops and didn't help him out of trouble, even though they had made a promise to always look out for each other. Then, Humpty tells the town soldiers to catch Puss for robbing San Ricardo's bank. As Puss tries to fight back against his foster mother, Amelia begs him not to fight for her sake and to stop running because it breaks her heart. Then Puss gives up just to keep his mother's heart. As the mail is taken to the jail, Humpty tells the people of the town the story of the golden chicken. They all think of Humpty as a hero because he brought them the wealth of the famous golden eggs. On the other side, Puss is put in a cell, and the warden tells him that he will spend the rest of his life in jail. The sad Puss then meets an old man who looks like he was in jail with him and turns out to be Jack Beanstalk. Puss got excited when Jack talked about Humpty because he wanted to hear what the old man had to say. The old man says that Humpty stole the magic beans from him many years ago when they were both in jail. He tells Puss that he had told Humpty not to take the golden egg, but he was so angry that he made a plan with his beans to get even. He tells the Puss that the biggest threat is the golden egg goose herself, which is a huge bird that will do anything to save her baby. Puss then sees that bringing the Great Terror to San Ricardo was dumb. He's been planning for a long time that the huge bird will destroy San Ricardo to get back at the people who put him in jail and treated him badly. In the chaos, he will leave town with the gosling, knowing that he had to stop Humpty no matter what. Then, Puss starts to charm the jail guard into letting him out of his cell. Just in time, Kitty comes to get Puss out of jail. She says she's sorry for telling him she likes him and doesn't care about the money. The jail guards show up at that moment, and Puss and Kitty fight them off. Kitty helped Puss get rid of the guards so he could go meet Humpty. He finds Humpty before he gets lost. He tells him that it wasn't right for him to destroy his home and even the school that took him in. Even though Humpty felt like he didn't fit in San Ricardo at first, Puss still manages to get him to do the right thing. He convinces him to do the right thing and help save the town from the huge golden goose. The big goose then shows up in the town. As everyone ran away for safety, she attacked the people. She used the gosling as bait to get the big goose to go after her gosling. Puss and Humpty are able to get the Great Terror to leave San Ricardo. During the chase, when Jack and Jill try to steal the gosling, Kitty helps save Puss from them. The two groups chased each other all the way to the edge of town. Humpty and the golden gosling are pushed off a crumbling bridge, but they manage to hang onto a rope with the help of Puss until it becomes clear that Puss can't save them both. Humpty tells Puss to save the gosling so that she doesn't destroy the whole town. When he saw that Puss was having trouble letting go, after an emotional moment, Humpty gives up on himself by letting go. Puss finds out that Humpty's bottom was a big golden egg. The golden goose finally finds her gosling, and she takes Humpty's golden egg back to the giant's castle above the clouds. After saving the town from being destroyed, Puss got praise from the people in the town and was called a hero for his brave act, even though he did a lot to make things right. The town militia still thinks that Puss is on the run. He finds his foster mother, Amelia, and she tells him how proud she is of him and how much she loves him. Then he and Kitty run out of town, and Kitty plays with him by stealing his boots as they run toward the sunset. During the closing scenes, Jack and Jill could be seen in a pretty bad way because they were still hurt and trying to get better. Humpty's spirit could be seen in his normal form above the clouds. He was dressed as a golden egg and dancing on the back of a golden chicken with a golden gosling. On the other hand, Puss and Kitty finally kiss at the end.